Hello and welcome to TotoTCG. You are here with me, Matthew, and we are back here with another Pokemon video on the channel. So in today's video, of course, we're going to be checking out another new GX from GG End. So this will be the last of the normal GXs before we move on to another tag team, which will be incorporated into our Unified Minds set. A few of the artworks actually are going to be in tins, very much like the Venusaur, the Pikachu, and Zekrom, those sort of tins. We're going to have more of those coming up with several of the different artworks that we'll see through this set, and two others that will make up the massive combo that is Unified Minds. However, we have got this GX to check out, so let's do so right now. So what have we got in particular? Well, we got Mawile GX. Oh yeah. So this was a very interesting one. I believe it came out as an EX, and then I think it had a Mega Evolve. It was sort of like a box set that you could get with this. So very, very interesting indeed how we're getting a Mawile GX now. It does look pretty cool. I like how obviously you can see that massive jaw on the picture, which almost takes up the whole card there. It does look really, really cool indeed. So of course it is a metal type with a HP of 170. And, of course, yet again, it is a basic Pokemon, so you can literally just go, boom, straight down, happy days. Now, obviously, with fire being a massive thing, this could be an interesting one. But we'll get to that as we move on. So, the full art is right there. Looks very, very cool indeed. I really do like the full art. It does look very cool. It's really interesting just to see that mouth sort of opening as if it's actually like talking. Really interesting Pokemon. Something that I definitely think will be a pretty interesting one to sort of get. I would like to try and make a deck around a metal type. I did try and do it with Scizor GX and it worked, but with fire being a very dominant thing, I definitely want to try and make sure I'm getting the right picks to make a deck up, because I think it would be really cool. So there's that, and then of course we have the Rainbow Rare, which doesn't really change much in terms of the artwork, just the colouring, and it does look really awesome. So there we go. So moving into the attacks and everything, or the first one is an ability. So the ability here is Captivating Wink. What does that do? Well, we've got, when you play this Pokemon from your hand onto your bench, you may have your opponent reveal their hand. Put any number of basic Pokemon you find there onto your opponent's bench. Now this is interesting, especially with the format at the moment. Say your opponent has a Tapu Lele, something random like that. Maybe they don't want to put it down because it'll activate the ability. Say Marshadow. Marshadow from Shining Legends is huge with that stupid let loose thing, which just allows your opponent or yourself to basically disrupt your hand completely and theirs. So it is interesting to be able to do this and just go, bang, Captivating Wink. They look and you go, right, yeah, basic, put them all down. Yes, it would kind of help your opponent. Totally agree. But it would also hinder them. Because if they've got abilities that you might want to use, Tapu Lele or that Marshadow, for example, it's a great way of disrupting their hand completely and their process of being like, look, next turn I can do this, then I can do that. And you're just going, bang, put them all down, and they can't even activate the abilities, which is great. So yeah, there we go. Captivating Wink, a very interesting ability there, and hopefully with additional features and Pokemon, obviously, this will become very interesting. So moving on to the next attack, we have got Hustle Bite for 1 metal and a colorless. So this is 10 plus damage. This attack does 30 more damage for each of your opponent's bench Pokemon. So, if they have, of course, 5 on there, you're doing 160 damage overall. Now, we're not going to talk Choice Band because that will be rotating, so we don't really want to need to talk about that. But 160 damage is not bad. It really isn't that bad. And especially with a lot, and I mean a lot of decks recently, having very single prize attackers. We've got Zapdos Jirachi, which is just like 1 KO, and then they're possibly coming back on your... possibly a tag team and knocking it out and taking 3, and you just think, what's going on? Like, I'm taking 1, you're taking 3. Calm down, stop it. So with this, you'll actually be able to be like, okay, look, you've got your Zapdos Jirachis there, and I can literally just one-shot anything here with my 160. So for a basic type deck that you go against, especially with Zapdos and Jirachi being huge, this is going to be great. Really, really good. So, moving on to the GX. So we've got Big Eater GX, again for Metal and the Colourless, which is great because this is literally just 2 energies and you're off. You're literally off, and that is great stuff. Your opponent reveals their hand. Discard all supporter cards you find there. That's great. That is fantastic. The fact that, like, if people are drawing into cards and they've got practically their whole deck in hand and you just think, Big Eater GX. Yes, it's not doing any damage, but early game possibly to stop them from possibly getting, maybe Lilies, Cynthias, that sort of stuff going. You're dumping all of that in the discard pile, which is really, really like a good way of disrupting it as well. So very disruptive card here with the ability, with the GX. It's going to be an interesting one. I definitely think it could be a very, very interesting one indeed. So, finishing off the card, of course, it is a GX, so once it is knocked out, it will be your opponent will be taking 2 prize cards. It has a weakness to fire, which is a little bit meh, but we still do have that lovely frying pan, and with Field Blower going away, we have no way, really, of removing items. There is possibly cards to stop you playing items, and there might also be... What was Faber? I think Faber was Special Energy, it was a Stadium, it might have been a Tool, I'm not too sure. But that sort of stuff, that's a supporter for turn being used there, and unless you're using a disruptive deck, that's not really going to be... that's not going to happen. It has a resistance to Psychic, which I guess is pretty cool. And then a retreat of 1, which, to be honest, even if you've got that nice bit of a skateboard on there, happy days. You could even play the Magina that allows you to change clothes and just keep switching tools over to suit your every need. You've got your metal frying pans, you've got your metal goggles, you've got your skateboards. You're everywhere. You're literally going everywhere, moving everything around. It could be really, really cool. So yeah, there we go. Mawile GX, a very, very interesting one indeed. Possibly my favourite from this set. I'm going to have to say it. I think this is going to be my favourite one from the GG end, at least. So, moving on from that, let's have a little look at the Guess the GX. The answer from our previous video, which would have been Alolan Raichu and Raichu GX. We gave that little picture right there. What was that in particular? Well, it was Zygarde GX. So if you did get that, well done. This card will not be rotating, which is great because I think there might actually be a Zygarde card coming out in this set, which we'll have a look at, which will help this slightly out a little bit more. So that's going to be pretty cool. So, the Guess the GX for this video, we have got that picture there, that one right there, and that one right there. This is very tough, I think, but you might be able to get it. You might be able to get it slightly blurry, but that adds to the overall factor of trying to work out what that is. It is a rainbow rare. It is a rainbow rare, I'll give you that. But yeah, have a little look, have a little guess at that, and let me know in the comments below, as well as your thoughts on Mawile GX. It'd be very interesting to see if people have had a little go at this already, how people are thinking about this. That would be awesome to find out. But apart from that, I'm going to leave it here for this video, and I will see you guys in the next video on the channel.